Good evening, and welcome to the commencement exercises for the Rutherford High School class of 2019. At this time, I would like to call up the Vice President of the senior class, Ms. Caroline McCarthy, for the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is located to your right. Following the pledge, please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem by the senior members of our concert choir.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise, and gentlemen, would you please remove your hats for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, of the free, and the home of the brave, home of the
Tonight is a very special night that we celebrate the accomplishments of this senior class. Before we begin, I'd like to thank Mr. Fogno and members of his band for the music this evening. There's a lot of work that goes into making events such as the fashion show and the prom a huge success. I would like to give the senior class advisors a round of applause, Ms. Stephanie Smallsty and Ms. Jennifer Gaggett. I would now like to introduce the president of our senior class, Ms. Kira Kelly.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the graduation ceremony for the Rutherford High School class of 2019. I would like to begin by thanking every faculty member in the high school, including Principal Mr. Morano, Vice Principal Mr. DeBerry, Superintendent Mr. Hurley, and the Rutherford Board of Education for providing a prosperous learning environment for the community of Rutherford. Every family member that encouraged someone, and every friend who had another's back for the past 4 years. Well, here we are, high school graduation at last, a day that students have been counting down to since the last day of junior year, or maybe a little bit earlier than that too. I won't deny that I myself was eager for the 20th of June to arrive. But as I stand up here, I wonder why. Why are we all so antsy to rush out of a school system that many of us have attended our entire lives? Yeah, I can think of many obvious reasons off the top of my head. Homework, stress, drama, gym class. So yeah, it's easy to recognize high school as the absolute worst time in our life sometimes. I mean, what else are we supposed to spend our angsty teen year lives doing? Enjoying ourselves? Obviously not. If we did that, our parents would have had it too easy. But again, I think back, why do we all want to rush out? With thought, I believe it's because we, luckily, as students and members of the Rutherford community, have squeezed all that we could from our time here. What I mean by that is, we were given opportunities to get all that we could in high school. Whether that was for you being a member of a sports team, musical, band, choir, or any other club, there was a large sense of effort in each of these activities, but also family. Throughout my 4 years, I've watched clubs such as the Gay Straight Alliance grow, the football team win 2 state championships, shout out QB1, and the musicals get recognized at the Metro Awards. The students sitting here today put in hard work and dedication to everything they put their minds to at RHS, and that is why we're ready for this farewell, because honestly, we're utilized our time and now it's time to move on. Whether you're wincing at the thought of leaving high school or on the other end being there for one more second of your life, it is undeniable that this goodbye contains bittersweetness. As I look at all of you behind me now, I can think of all the elementary, middle school, and high school memories that we hold, something that only we can capture forever. That's the beauty of a small town like Rutherford. Whether that be whatever Rutherford dialect the boys sometimes speak, like Piscal, sweating just thinking about walking those miles with Parno for gym, performing a pop start, or whatever inside jokes you want to have with a friend, Rutherford will hold them as we move on to our next chapters of our life, whether that be a 4-year college, community college, vocational school, the military, or straight into the workforce. I hope that everyone here can achieve grand success. And from this small town, I hope that you all can dream big, achieve big, and live large. A fitting quote I found for tonight was, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are small matters compared to what lies within us." Ralph Waldo Emerson. As you examine your life in this seemingly evolutionary time, you may dwindle on the past or worry about the future. But in the end, it's within each of yourselves to take those risks into future endeavors while holding on to core values to capture life. So now, no, sadly, the past 4 years did not nearly resemble anything from High School Musical or any teen rom-com I've ever seen, which I'm not gonna lie was a bummer. But I'm still happy to stand here on the cusp of the next chapter of our lives, saying I wish you all the best, and wherever life may take you, I hope that you may take something from your time at Rutherford. And if you're sitting here wondering about your growth, remind yourself of that 14-year-old freshman who walked in those doors. I guarantee that the majority of us have changed for the better. Thank you.
Great job, Kira. We as a district value the support that we receive from the Board of Education, and I truly thank them for that. At this time, I'd like to welcome the President of the Board of Education, Mr. Kevin McLean.
So I'm facing you, but the people I'm interested in are you. So I'll try to turn and look occasionally. And this is going to be a quick demonstration of two people finding the same quote, and one getting to go first. But we'll get to that later. We obviously didn't practice. So thank you, Mr. Morano. Good evening, district staff and administrators, fellow board members, friends and family, and most importantly, of course, good evening to the class of 2019. If they say that rain is lucky for weddings. I'm not sure if it's the same for graduations, but if it is, you're off to a great start. So that's good. It's always a thrill and an honor to be asked to come and say a few words on behalf of the Board of Education. Tonight, actually, what I'm going to do is ask a few favors of our graduates on behalf of the Board of Education. First, and Kira mentioned it, the staff that have worked so hard to make our school what it is, please remember to check back with them from time to time. Let them know what you're doing. The job of the Board of Education is not to run the schools. The job of the Board of Education is to see that it's run well. And sprinkled around the room and in the chairs in the back are a small number of the dedicated staff that helps make that happen every day. We know that there are others that would like to be here, more than could come tonight because of being indoors. But your staff, your administration, your teachers, pre-K through now, all have a sincere interest in you. They want to hear from you. Their interest doesn't end in a few minutes when you get that diploma. I saw it tonight with former graduates coming in and getting big hugs and giving big hugs to the instructors. So please continue that. From your time here in Rutherford, we know, and you mentioned some of the successes, we know that you're a very action-oriented crowd. You thrive on accomplishment. We've seen that. Some of it was recited. So our second favor that we ask is that you maintain that style in your lifetime, that you let your actions dictate who you are. We've all heard the phrase, actions speak louder than words. And it's usually meant for somebody that's saying something they're not doing. Don't be that person. Let your actions lead you, and your words will follow. The important part is taking action. There's, these are wonderful devices, but be careful. Don't confuse the World Wide Web with the real wide world. What you want to do is get out there, get involved. Don't let social media become social pressures. Don't become predictable. Disconnect from time to time and put yourself into actions that are a little outside of your comfort zone. Maybe take on a new work challenge. Maybe take that course that's a little harder, a little more difficult. Maybe volunteer to help others, even though you're not exactly sure you're qualified, or you don't know where you'll find the time to do it. Try to say yes more than you say no. This is what it says here. I have to read this. Hopefully you've heard of Ralph Waldo Emerson. So I know for sure you have. But if you've not studied him in detail, I would Google him. You know, he never used a smartphone. He never had a laptop. Over 200 years ago, he used simple pen and paper to make some outstanding, to put down some outstanding thoughts that can help you guide your life. And the one that I had chosen was the exact same one you have. So our final wish, or our final request from you, is that as you wrestle with your mistakes, as you wrestle with your challenges, as you're defining your values and deciding what actions you will undertake, please reflect on that phrase. And I have it a little paraphrased, but it's worth repeating. What lies behind you and what lies in front of you is not nearly as important as what lies inside you. Have faith in yourselves. Be true to yourselves. Congratulations and thank you from the Rutherford Board of Education.
Now for a special part of the ceremony. Dr. Shannon Hopkins will recognize the students who are being presented with the Board of Education Awards.
The Board of Education Scholastic Award is presented to those students who meet the criteria of a 3.7 or higher weighted grade point average for an academic year while also not receiving a final grade less than a B-. The Bronze Award is presented to students who achieve a 3.7 or higher grade point average for one academic year. Students, please stand when your name is called. We would ask that you hold your applause until all names have been read. So this year's winner of the Bronze Award, Allison Abram, Morgan Bauman, Kevin Bautista, Brandon Caballero, Isaiah Chi, Chloe Cornichulo, Molly Contugno, Michael D'Agostino, Ye-So Lim, Sadie Link, Lena Park, Fiona Regan, Madison Scott, James Sousa, Abigail Verteber, and Xavier Warner. The Silver Award is presented to students who achieve a 3.7 or higher grade point average for 2 academic years. Students, again, please stand when your name is called. The Silver Award goes to David Carino, Ian Gunther, Kira Kelly, Woo Kim, Margaret Lasky, Sean McCosker, Carols McHale, Amanda Raposo, Sophia Scheibe, Stanley Serino, Tradib Shom, Nicholas Tardif, Vanessa Wilson, Rachel Ronco, and Lena Yu. The Gold Award is presented to students who achieve a 3.7 grade point average or higher for 3 academic years. Students will stand again when their names are called. Our Gold Award winners are Kayla Dalia, Emma Guzman, William Hanna, Nicholas Ippolito, Caroline Marin, Alexis Montoto, Sang Moon, Matteo Paoli, Jessica Skinner, Emma Sousa, and Jack Whaley. Okay, finally, seniors who have received a Board of Ed award for all 4 years in high school will come up to receive their plaques. Mr. McLean from the Board of Education will help present the plaques. We ask that you hold your applause until all the names have been called. Christopher Arce. Daniel Armanos. Bum Soo Cho. Andrew Chun. Daniel Claro. Christopher Corcoran. Eric Corradini. William Hart. Regan Landrigan. Jake Lemaire. Charles Maslag. Madison Mastrolia. Jason Moss. Eric Schriefer. Now our ladies are coming from the other side. Madison Burke. Adriana Camerano. Megan Chow. Madison Famey. Angie Garcia. Jillian Griggs. So Young Jang. Grace Kylan. Sophia Kim. Caroline McCarthy. Caroline Mirzwa. Sonali Rana. Laura Savitsky. Rasham Shah. And Maggie Ronco.
It is with great pride that I'd like to announce two very special awards. First, the salutatorian for the class of 2019 with a grade point average of 4.47, So Young Jang. And now, the valedictorian for the class of 2019 with a grade point average of 4.56, Mr. Christopher Corcoran.
Good evening, Rutherford Board of Education, Superintendent Hurley, Principal Morano, Vice Principal DeBerry, teachers, family members, friends, and classmates. Franklin D. Roosevelt once said, "The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today." In a few moments, we're going to become alumni of RHS with bright and hopeful futures in front of us. With graduation comes the ending of one chapter and the beginning of a new one filled with the unknown. The questions of who will we become, where will we go, plague our minds, and can lead to feelings of fear. F-E-A-R, a single four-letter word that can have two meanings. Fear can cause you to forget everything and run, or fear can cause you to forget everything and rise. The choice of running and rising to your fears are within you. The doubts of today would lead you to run away from the successful future that lays ahead. Yet, put away these doubts, and you'll be able to attain your maximum potential and the bright future that lays ahead. I feel confident that every single one of us is capable of rising in face of our fears and becoming successful in our new chapter. Yet, becoming successful is not something you easily stumble upon. It's not an overnight trip, it's a journey filled with highs and lows. No journey will ever be a flat line, constantly perfect. Everybody will fall at some point, some might fall more than others. However, as Nelson Mandela once said, the greatest glory in living lies not in falling, but rising every time we fall. In every new chapter, failure will be inevitable. However, if there's any words of advice I can offer, it would be most people don't plan to fail, they just fail to plan what happens when you fail. That lack of planning is what results in that failure. The way in which you plan to respond to adversity will determine whether you will be able to become successful. From every failure comes a learning experience, which gives the knowledge necessary for achievement. However, you can only learn from a failure if you're able to maintain a positive mindset and willing to get back up every single time you fall. Without the proper mindset, you can never truly be successful. After all, the door to success can only be opened for you. You have to be the one willing to walk through it. Here at Rutherford, we've all been successful, evident by our attendance here. However, we must acknowledge that, as Winston Churchill once said, success is not final, failure is not fatal, it's the courage to continue that counts. As we embark on our new chapters of our lives, it's necessary to remember that our success here has been the result of continued hard work. It's that persistence of chasing success that we had here at RHS that we are able to realize we are capable of reaching our goals of tomorrow, which lie behind our doubts of today. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2019.
I am extremely proud of all the graduates tonight. However, I would like to thank and recognize a special group of people. I would like to thank all of the students' parents and family members for their support over the years in the Rutherford school system. The class of 2019, please give your teachers, supervisors, administrators one last round of applause for all their hard work to ensure you be sitting here tonight. And of course, to Mr. Frazier, our graduation coordinator. The class of 2019 and I appreciate all your hard work in making this evening so special. And now, the moment we've been waiting for. Mr. Hurley, I stand here tonight, and with pleasure, I report that the members of the class of 2019 here assembled have met the requirements for graduation as prescribed by the state of New Jersey and the Rutherford Board of Education. It is a privilege for me to present the class of 2019 to the Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Jack Hurley.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome and to the class 2019. Heartfelt congratulations. One of the negatives, I guess, of speaking last is that all the good quotes and all the good lines and all the good themes are gone. Mr. McLean mentioned that he was going to use the Emerson quote. I was going to use the Mandela quote. So we're done. I can sit down. I do want to echo a few comments, though, and a few thoughts and reflections. You know, I think there's not a coincidence that so much of what you hear tonight has similar themes. And I think it's because we have a community here. We have goals, we have objectives, we have core values in this community that get obviously shared from the parents, through the faculty, through the staff, to the students. So we speak about certain characteristics that are going to carry forward that have been demonstrated here by the students. And to echo what Mr. Morano said, I need to thank the parents and family members who are here tonight. You have given us the wonderful privilege of working with outstanding young men and women. You have given us the opportunity to work together to produce this outstanding group of men and women you see before you. So on behalf of the faculty, the administration, the board, I thank you for that, and I thank you for your continued support and partnership. And also to the faculty and staff for all you've done, and not just the high school, going all the way back, as was stated earlier, to pre-K, kindergarten, all the way through, to get to this moment of achievement. You know, I was going to give this rather long speech if we were outside tonight, so you should all be very grateful that we're inside. But there are a few things I do want to mention. Some of the qualities that I think you really need to succeed. Because this tonight class is about people like me and others telling you how you're going to succeed in the future, even though I think you've done pretty well so far figuring that out. And the qualities that I think are very important were mentioned so far tonight. The first is grit, perseverance, the ability to pick yourself up and keep working hard. You know, Chris just spoke about failure. And I read an interesting article this year about, you know, maybe we should start allowing people to fail again. Because you really don't succeed without failing. And you're never going to try to reach for that next level if you're afraid to fail. So as you go forward, take risk. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid not to get what you want on the first try, but pick yourself up and come back on the second try. So grit is one thing. Ambition is another quality. I have watched this class as they went through the schools achieve so many different things in the classroom, in the athletic field, on the stage, in the community. That's drive, that ambition is a positive thing to take with you going forward. Enthusiasm. You should love what you do. You should want to take that course in college or that job opportunity. You know, if you love what you do, you'll never feel like the task is too arduous. And you'll never be afraid of that failure we talked about. And the last one, which I know you have, because I've seen it when in the hallways, I've seen it in the classroom, I've seen it in the athletic field, I've seen it in the community, is empathy. I think that may be a value that has been overlooked recently. And empathy doesn't mean we have to agree with each other. Empathy doesn't mean we have to like everything that everybody does. But empathy means we're going to consider the other person's point of view, their feelings. Try to see the world through his or her eyes. Try to understand where they're coming from. And if we all just did that a little more, I think a lot of things would be a lot better in our society. And in this society, in this community, you've all done that. So we heard the word journey tonight. Last night I was here at the Union School graduation. They spoke about a journey. And one of the things that was said last night, and I think worthy of repeating, and was actually alluded to earlier in Kira's speech, is when you go on a journey, you guys or gals are all going on a journey, and you're excited and you're happy, and you can't wait, but you're also probably a little nervous, a little uncertain, because we don't know where journeys often take us. Keep in mind that there are people that will always be here, guiding you, helping you, waiting for you if you need to come back, and always be here to support you. You'll never be alone in that journey. This community is one of the most supportive communities I've ever witnessed, and I can't imagine any community being stronger in support in good times and bad times. Don't forget that. And don't forget that saying that I know you all proudly have said, that once a bulldog, always a bulldog. So congratulations to you, class of 2019. So, Mr. Morano and all here assembled, under the authority granted to me by the state of New Jersey and by the Rutherford Board of Education, I accept the class of 2019 that you have presented to me and certify them as graduates of Rutherford High School. Congratulations and thank you.
At this time, I invite Mr. McLean to come forward for the awarding of diplomas. I invite Ms. Jennifer Gagas to the microphone to award the first diploma. Please refrain from applause until the entire row has been called. This will ensure that parents can hear their child's name announced.
Good evening. The class of 2019 will have their names announced by the senior class officers. Secretary, Emma Sousa, Treasurer, Caroline Marin, and Vice President, Caroline McCarthy. Receiving her diploma, President of the class of 2019, Ms. Kira Kelly.
Gianna Star Suriano. Gia Brianne Bagnolo. Sarah Elizabeth Hansen. Kayla Alice Dre. Adriana Camerano. Angie Garcia. Chloe Cornichilo. Shalini Rana. Emily Marie Torres. Nicole Bartnicki. Kayla Isabel Tarangelo. Caroline Quinn Marin. Emma Sousa. Caroline Page McCarthy. Chan Mi Lee. Sophia Kim. Laura Elaine Savitsky. Caroline Maria Mirzwa. Noelle Hanlon. Woo Ree Kim. Jaden Alexis Goldberry. Claudia Pashota. Sonali Reyna. Amanda Raposo. Rasham Shah. Megan Chow. Joanna Rosa Carino. Achal Patel. Fiona Regan. Christine Raffanello. Katie Kajoris. Savannah Masood. Cameron Morawski. Cheyenne Anderson. Katie Munoz. Alexandra Boljovic. Ariana Berg. Sylvia Lebosque. Katrina Binder. Rachel Ann Ronco. Verdiana Carino. Sunny Gorin. Molly Catuno.
Caroline McIntyre. Scarlett Castilla Harazme. Bridget Kathleen Hart. Kara Ann Openshaw. Emma Guzman. Alexis Montoto. Maggie Rose Ronco. Madison Scott. Megan Tinella. Margaret Eileen Lasky. Christina Jiwon Kim. Erza Baladamai. Sadie Link. Grace Joanna Kylan. Lena Park. Sienna Rain DePinto. Christina Centrello. Hannah Sim. Catherine Lee. Vanessa Rose Wilson. Lena Yu. Iona McAvoy. Kayla Mary Dalia. Deshani Henley. Rachel Park. So Young Jang. Destiny Almodovar. Destiny Garcia. Elsa McAvoy. Hannah Christen. Abigail Vertiver. Virginia Amantia Luna. Erin Veronica Cartwright. Kaylee Jane Ammerman. Madison Fammy. Allison Abram. Morgan Bauman. Caroline Fisher. Brianna Shea Martinez. Emma Gilhawley. Iman Alina Sheikh. Jillian Griggs. Sophia Angelina Scheibe. Madison Nicole Burke. Jessica Skinner. Jillian Patricia Wazinski. Hannah Elizabeth Martin. Ava Rose Moran. Morgan Francesca Okula.
Henry Kwan. Alex Joseph Wiest. Brendan Glenn Torres. John Dennis Melfa. Dylan Guido. Guillermo Julian Campos. Jeffrey Cardenas. Christopher Corcoran. Madison Mastrolia. Russell Enrique Gomez Martinez. Daniel Claro. Abajani Mendez. Raymond Lombardi. Manav Shah. Rainer Fabian. Cooper Jackson Tormey. James Sosa. James Eubanks. Michael Rislow. Bumsu Cho. Ilgar Farouk Satichi. Xavier Stockhausen Warner. Carols Michael. Leon Sue. Nicholas Tardif. Daniel Armanios. Michael D. Agostino. Jaden Gonzalez. Kyra McQuaid. Vivek Parikh. Christopher Arce. Rashad Bonsili. Eric Cordini. Taha Fike. Zach Briskowitz. Nicholas Daniel Mundo. Joshua Julian Little. Mateo Sean Sullivan. Demetrius Restivo. Lorenzo Malor. Kevin John Bautista. Justin Mazzucaro. Kyle Sanzo. Dhruv Chetan Champanieri. Luke Siegenthaler. John Derek Sulain. Nicholas K. Tabaxi. Richard Moon. David Carino.
Sean McCosker. Regan James Landrigan. Connor Cahill. Raymond Emilio Cruz Duran. Jay Mehta. Awad Hilal. Jack Whaley. Ben Johannes. Miguel Angelo Castaneda. Jay Tobin. William Hanna. Fabio Fraschilla. Arthur Antunes. Brian Hennessy. Justin Finelli. Santiago Estacio. Benjamin Lee. Christopher Pitt. Tyler Nunez. Matthew Joseph Leonessa. Stanley Sereno. Jared Contreras. Jack O'Grady. Eugene Kim. Nicholas Ippolito. Kweku Enyan. Kyle Russell. James Piskel. Michael Castellanos. Eric Schriefer. Sung Moon. Matteo Paoli. Andrew Chun. Billy Hart. Tridib Shom. Jason Matthew Moss. Dimitri Burrows. Yeso Lim. Charles Lawrence Maslag. Braylon Jones. Aiden Doyle. Jae-yoon Oh. Brandon Oto Caballero. Darren Mateja. Isaiah Chi. Maxwell Greenwood. Zach Buabidi. Anthony Moore. June Sim. Joseph Fizicaro. Matthew Jacob Birchby. Ian Gunther. Jake Lemaire. Joshua Snag. Lamont Hogan Jr.
We have one last order of business. Seniors, please take hold of your tassels with your left hand. And on the count of 3, we will move the tassel from right to left. 1, 2, 3.